The FBI has 1,400 pages on interdimensional portals, locked away in declassified files that sound like sci-fi but are terrifyingly real. From psychic spies to haunted ranches and experiments that could rip holes in reality, the FBI's X-Files are packed with secrets they didn't want you to see. We're diving deep into Project Stargate, the Skinwalker Ranch mysteries, and teleportation experiments that'll make you question everything. This is the truth they tried to bury. Let's rip it open. Project Stargate, psychic spies, and remote viewing. Let's kick things off with Project Stargate, a top-secret program that sounds like it's straight out of a Hollywood thriller. Started in 1977 by the U.S. Army and later backed by the CIA. This $20 million project ran for nearly 2 decades at Fort Meade, Maryland. The goal? To weaponize psychic powers for espionage. We're talking remote viewing, trained operatives using their minds to see distant places, enemy bases, or even hidden secrets. Declassified FBI and CIA files, released through FOIA requests, reveal over 12 million pages of Stargate docs, with the FBI holding key pieces on how they monitored it. Here's how it worked. Remote viewers like Ingo Swann or Joseph McMonigle would sit in a quiet room, enter a trance, and describe what they saw in their minds. One 1983 session had a viewer sketch a Soviet weapons facility with eerie accuracy, matching satellite photos the CIA later got. The FBI's files note they were skeptical but curious, tracking Stargate's results to see if it posed a security risk or could be used for their own investigations. A 1987 CIA memo describes Stargate's team: 1 chief, 3 viewers, and a secretary, all testing methodologies to spy without leaving their desks. But it gets weirder. Some sessions went beyond Earth. Declassified docs show viewers tasked with seeing Mars in ancient times, describing pyramids and tall beings, wild stuff the FBI quietly filed away. Was it fantasy, or did they tap into something real? By 1995, the CIA shut Stargate down, saying it was inconclusive, but insiders like McMonigle claim it worked too well, and parts went black, still classified. Why did the FBI keep tabs on this? Were they worried about psychic leaks or something bigger like interdimensional intel slipping through? Skinwalker Ranch, portals, and paranormal hotspots. Now, let's head to Utah's Skinwalker Ranch, a 512-acre plot so freaky, it's called the UFO capital of the world. The FBI's X-Files on this place, declassified in the 2000s, read like a horror novel. Since the 1950s, locals reported UFOs, glowing orbs, and mutilated cattle with organs removed surgically. No blood, no tracks. The FBI got involved in 1976 after ranchers begged for help, with agents documenting unexplained phenomena in memos now public in the FBI vault. By the 1990s, billionaire Robert Bigelow bought the ranch, funding a science team led by Colm Kelleher to study it. Their findings, partially shared with the FBI, are chilling. Magnetic spikes strong enough to spook cattle, invisible objects emitting radiation, and portals in the sky where objects appeared and vanished. One 1996 report describes a glowing triangle hovering over the ranch, witnessed by multiple scientists. The FBI's files note they worked with the Air Force, cross-referencing UFO reports, but kept details vague to avoid panic. Here's the creepiest part. Some docs hint at interdimensional activity. A 2004 memo mentions anomalous entities that didn't match known aircraft or animals, possibly crossing from another reality. Recent claims on shows like Ancient Aliens, 2025, suggest Skinwalker's Mesa hides a portal, backed by declassified FBI notes on unexplained energy spikes. No hard proof exists, but why did the FBI monitor a remote ranch for decades? Were they chasing aliens, or something slipping through cracks in our world? Teleportation experiments, ripping holes in reality. Hold on, because this next part is straight up bonkers. Declassified FBI files from the 1980s, buried in their 1,400-page, unexplained phenomenon collection, touch on experiments tied to teleportation and dimensional travel. These link to Project Stargate's weirder cousin, the Gateway Process, an Army study from 1983 exploring how humans could transcend space-time using meditation and sound frequencies. The FBI was briefed on it, with memos noting their concern about national security implications. The Gateway Process, run at the Monroe Institute, used hemisync audio to sync brain hemispheres, allegedly letting people astral project or remote view. But some sessions went further. A declassified report describes subjects feeling they exited their bodies and saw other dimensions, places with geometric shapes and non-human entities. One FBI note from 1984 questions if this was psychological or a breach in reality. They didn't fund it but watched closely, fearing Soviet rivals were doing the same. Cold War paranoia was real. Both sides chased any edge, even if it meant tearing open space-time. Then there's the teleportation angle. A 1981 FBI file references a DARPA-linked experiment at Stanford Research Institute, where physicists tried moving objects using quantum entanglement. No success was reported, but a cryptic 1989 memo mentions anomalous transport phenomena during a classified test, possibly at Area 51. The FBI's role? Ensure no leaks reached the public. Some speculate these tests tie to Skinwalker Ranch's portal claims, with energy spikes hinting at dimensional rifts. It's thin on proof, but the FBI's 1,400 pages don't dismiss it. They just bury it in jargon. The cover-up, why hide the X-Files? So, why did the FBI keep 1,400 pages on this stuff secret for decades? Their vault, launched in 2011, holds 6,700 declassified docs, including UFOs and paranormal cases from 1947 to 1990s. A 1950 memo from FBI agent Guy Hoddle describes flying saucers in New Mexico, with 3-foot-tall humanoid bodies, later debunked as a hoax, but it shows they took reports seriously. The FBI worked with the Air Force's Project Blue Book, investigating UFOs until 1969, but their files go deeper, hinting at phenomena they couldn't explain. The cover-up theory boils down to control. If Project Stargate proved psychic spying worked or Skinwalker's portals were real, it could spark chaos, public panic, enemy espionage, or worse, contact with something we're not ready for. The FBI's 1947 Roswell memo calls a crashed disk a weather balloon. But why redact names and details? Declassified docs are often blacked out, with whole pages missing. Freedom of Information Act requests by folks like John Greenewald Jr. of the Black Vault forced out many files, but the FBI still holds tight to the juiciest bits. Skeptics say it's all bunk. Stargate was a waste of cash, Skinwalker's just a spooky ranch, and Teleportation's sci-fi nonsense. The FBI's own memos lean on natural explanations, like swamp gas or mental stress. But why collect 1,400 pages if it's nothing? Why monitor psychics and ranchers if there's no threat? The truth might be scarier than we think. Maybe they found something that doesn't fit our reality. What's the truth behind the X-Files? The FBI's real X-Files are a goldmine of weirdness, Project Stargate's psychic missions, Skinwalker Ranch's portal claims, and teleportation tests that push the edge of science. Declassified docs show they took it seriously, even if they played it cool. Were they chasing aliens, interdimensional beings, or just Cold War ghosts? The 1,400 pages don't give us a smoking gun, but they raise questions we can't ignore. Why hide so much? What's still classified? This is the FBI's real X-Files, a story of secrets, science, and the unknown. If this blew your mind, smash that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe our channel.